Top of morning to you and all your friends. My name is Carlos Alberto Navarro. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know that had to have been loud. How you doing? What's going on? It is Friday. Friday is finally here. Oh my God. You don't have to just taste it from the week ahead or the week before. No, Friday is here. It means you need to be having a good day today. And so you join Top of the Morning, and that is the goal here. Yeah, that's the goal, to get you going. To get you pumped up, to make you laugh, to make you think, just to make you have a good time. And I don't do this by myself. Well, I mean, I kind of do this by myself, but Top of the Morning is an interactive show where I want to know what you think as well. So, Rachel, Top of the Morning to you. And whenever I see somebody cool, like Rachel, say something cool, like, so glad it's Friday, I pop it up there. What else do we do? We drink coffee on this show. Yeah, that's right. We drink coffee. Lots of it. Can you tell I got a little bit of a tan? I feel like I look good. Man, this is an amazing Friday, not just for me, but I hope it is for you as well. My wife and daughter are heading out to go see Taylor Swift tonight in Miami. I couldn't be more excited for them. I myself is just a weekend, or not a full weekend, but definitely hanging with my little girl Magnolia, and probably gonna go have some Sky Zone fun. But I'm so glad you joined me today. Top of the morning to you, and top of the morning to you, Julie, as well. Yes, the party girls are here. We are going to talk about P. Diddy today and the new case that he has. We are going to talk the Penguin. I have a full breakdown on it. You guys are actually going to get to see a little preview of a video that I'm going to release about the Penguin. And, as the show grows and as it develops, I just want to continue, showing you guys different things. So I'm so glad that you're here on this Friday. And if you could take a second to like and share, that's right, like and share the video, it would help push it out there to more people. And so, you saw the title. The title is a little scary. So maybe it's a little scary. I want to play a little scarier music. Maybe not. It is motivational monologue. It is what it is. And the motivational monologue, villains. The villains in our lives. The villains that we love. So many of them, right? So many people in our lives. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that so many. If you have a lot of villains in your life, that ain't good. But why do we love villains? You ever think about that? Think about, like, the best characters in cinema are usually villains. Why is it that we're fascinated with people that do the worst stuff? You ever think about that? I think about that at time to time. I'm like, why do I love this genre as well? And it is a fascinating thing, because I think the reason we love villains is because they do things that we're not supposed to do. They do those things that we're like, ooh, we don't want, And look, think about all the good villains out there. Your Darth Vaders, Hannibal Lecters, Thanos, No Country from Old Man. What was his name? Villains play a huge, huge role in movies. And the way things started changing with villains is we used to just hate villains. And then the anti-hero kind of came about in film and TV. A lot of times you didn't know if it was a good guy or a bad guy. One of the biggest villains that we've cheered for, in a weird way, is Tony Soprano on The Sopranos. That was one of the first anti-heroes that we started cheering for. And were they a villain? Oh, kind of a villain. you know, but more so somebody that you could understand. And I think that's what a great villain has is that you can understand their motives. You may not agree with their motives, but you understand their motives. Ooh, Gus Frigg is a good one too. Yes, Rachel, nice picks. And you know, I personally love gangster films, and so I guess you can say there's a lot of villains in there. Usually, the villains in that one are the police because the cops are trying to get away from the police, you know. But villains in general do intrigue me, and I think that's why they make such great characters. People that choose to go one way or the other. Now, I want to know, basically, if any of you have started to watch the new series, The Penguin. I would like to know. And before I share that, I want everybody to jump on and give it a little share. Give the show a share. It takes 2 seconds. You pop on, you see it, you click share, and you say, we're talking villains. We are talking villains. Join us. Boom. Shared. It's just like that. Easy, just like that. Now, which one of you guys... Ooh, the Punisher. So you consider the Punisher a villain, Eddie? Is he really? I think he's more of a... Oh, no, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying. Like the anti-hero protagonist where you're kind of cheering one. Yep, I like that. Top of the morning to you, Barbara. Top of the morning to you. Yeah, Rachel, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. It's excellent. Really, really, really good show, and we're going to talk about it way more in detail. Now, I do want to talk about, yes, the vigilante. I think, you know, Batman is a vigilante, so I think we got a little bit of that from him as well. Now, do you guys want to, let's actually, and this is what I was recording this morning. So what I'm about to show you guys, I definitely want to talk about The Penguin and how great the show is. And what I want to show you here is a video that I'm putting together that I'm going to kind of add a lot more stuff to, but you can definitely see where I'm going with it. What's up, DTF? Good to see ya. Oh my gosh, Kristen Milotti, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, and then we're going to talk about P. Diddy. But I'm going to share with you guys, since you guys are my people. People who are on this live, y'all are my people. Okay? Because I take this show and then I cut it up and I share it on out. But y'all are my people. And so I want to share with you. So, obviously I'm trying to grow my channel, trying to grow the show, trying to grow everything. And so one of those things, I'm being very intentional with what I put out there so that I can then, you know, on the show and then what I put out to the rest of YouTube. And so that one of the things is I want to do different breakdowns on movies and kind of the way that I see it. And not just live, but actually put some production value into it. And so what you're going to see here is a draft of what will be... Not trying to grow your hair. No, not trying to grow my hair. It's just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. That's it. And so what you will see, I'm going to add some different stuff to this video. Obviously some B-roll and stuff like that. But I will be here watching with you. Do you guys want to see the video? It'll be you'll be like in the theater room. Like, oh, you want to watch this cut? You want to watch this cut? Yes? No? If I get just a couple yeses, I'm playing it. Guess what? It's my show anyway, so I'm going to do it anyway. But, yeah, I'm trying to really just create unique, cool stuff to entertain you guys, basically. And the world. And the world. So, all right. Do it. Yes, what's up, Evans? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, let's do it. Allow me to play for you my new video.
Is redefining the gangster game. It's got vibe. You know, there's a reason they're saying the Penguin is redefining the gangster game. It's got violence, unpredictability, insanity, and a storyline we ain't seen maybe ever. I know what you're thinking. Who the hell is this guy telling me about the Penguin? Well, who the hell are you for clicking on my video, huh? I'll tell you who the hell I am. The name is Johnny the Critic Pastalone. I've seen more gangster movies than you eating cannolis. I've also auditioned for more gangster roles than you can count. And oh yeah, by the way, I've actually played gangsters. I was Enrique in Hawkeye, Mateo in Bloodline, and way more. So I know a thing or two about gangsters, and that's why I'm here to break down why the Penguin is the new kingpin on the gangster block. What's up, everybody? My name is Carlos Alberto Navarro, and I'm a professional actor of over 20 years, and I've been a gangster in TV shows and movies, and to be honest, it's my favorite genre of film. I am obsessed with them. So when the Penguin came out, I was a little weary. Ooh, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? I was so happy. It is amazing. So before we get into the Penguin, I want to talk about Kingpin. I was fortunate enough to be Enrique in the Tracksuit Mafia and Hawkeye and work for Kingpin. We're not going to go all into Hawkeye and stuff, but the show was fun and fantastic and very cool. But I always wondered, what would it be like if Kingpin took the role of like a Tony Soprano? So while I was filming Hawkeye, I would talk about that with Alex and Piotr and Fra, the other Tracksuit Mafia guys, and say, hey, wouldn't it be cool if it was like a Soprano style and Kingpin was the Tony Soprano? And they all loved it too. Now Disney Plus and those shows were very new at the time, so things were just kind of kicking off. And that's what I think essentially the Penguin is. It's Tony Soprano in the comic book world, and they've nailed it. Not to say that Marvel hasn't done amazing stuff and amazing shows. Obviously they have, and maybe they have a show in the future, but I was always hoping Marvel would have this type of show, and of course have Enrique and the Tracksuit Mafia in it. And maybe it's down the line, maybe not. And I know that Kingpin will be in the new Daredevil show, and that's supposed to be really gritty, so maybe they have their own version of it. I'm ready to go, Marvel, if you need me. All right, let's talk about why the Penguin just works. Number one, it's the unpredictability of the show. It's what makes a great gangster character. It all started really with Michael Corleone, and then you can jump to Tony Soprano, and now we got the Penguin. One moment you're sitting there, you're sharing a laugh, and then boom, he's got the gun to your head, ready to shoot you. That is the unpredictability that we love as gangsters. This show captures that essence perfectly. It's gritty, yet everyone looks like they actually belong in Gotham. The visual effects are fantastic. And yes, each episode feels like a big movie. The sets are huge, or at least they feel that way. It doesn't look like you're walking around a green screen. The Penguin takes that classic gangster unpredictability and mixes it with a comic book edge. And look, as someone who's played bad guys on screen, you have to find that balance, and every single person is doing that on the show. I also love all the subtle connections from the comics to the show. It's the kind of detail that makes the story even more layered and interested in the movies and the comic books. All right, let's talk about the imagery of this show and the iconic parallels it has, because this show is packed with moments that pay homage to the greats. So, if you got the Penguin standing there in his white jacket, boom, that's straight up Tony Montana in the club, Scarface. Okay, so you think the Penguin could take me? You think the Penguin could take me, Tony Montana? No way, man, no way.
And yes, the basis of the story is kind of on Scarface, showing the climb of a gang leader. There's also scenes that are straight up parallel to The Godfather.
Every time I think I'm getting out of Gotham, they pull me back in.
And I love this. It reminds us of these classic movies while keeping its own style. There's imagery of GTA, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. It feels like when you're watching this show that you're kind of playing the game a little bit. And of course, Goodfellas with the violence and the comedy. I would also say the Penguin has a little bit of Tommy from Goodfellas in him too. All right, now let's talk about the Penguin himself, Colin Farrell. Unbelievable Oscar Award nominee actor, and you can see it. The guy is doing a tour de force performance. Not only is the makeup unbelievable, and trust me, when you're an actor and I've had to go under prosthetics, it sucks.
Imagine sitting there for hours upon hours having, pounds of makeup and rubber and latex layered upon you. It's not that much fun. You got to stay in it the whole day, and you have to commit to it. A lot of people aren't willing to do it. Colin Farrell is unbelievable. Now, his huge influence, for sure, is Tony Soprano. When I watch it, I'm like, that's a version, very big version of Tony Soprano. But he's changed it a bit. He has some of the Tony Montana anger in him. Of course, Tony Soprano had anger in him too, but they're a little bit different. And then the unique thing about the Penguin is the way he's able to talk himself out of situations. He has a huge physical limitation. So he's able to say the right thing at the right time. And that's really unique to this gangster character. Most other characters depend on their brute force or their power. The Penguin, it's his mouth. And like I said, the Penguin's physical limitation and even his look is what makes him the underdog. Tony Montana's was he was an immigrant. Tony Soprano was that he was the Jersey crew boss. Michael Corleone was that, he was the military guy. He'll never be able to run this family. It's an underdog story, and you start to rise to the top. And that's what this story is. So yes, Colin Farrell is killing it, but you gotta give credit to the amazing writer, Lauren LaFranc. Oh my gosh, I've watched the behind the scenes of how she thought of this, and she's really flipped everything on its end. Like the Penguin, changing his name down to Oz Cobb, bringing in Sophia's storyline with her father, a little bit different from the comic. The Penguin storyline with his mother, that really is totally different, and it's not done for an agenda. It's not done, I just want to make this. No, it's done to make the story better. The juxtaposition of the storyline with Penguin with his mother and Sophia with her father, I've never seen anything like that on TV, quite honestly, film. The writing is spectacular. So many amazing lines, and I have to highlight who I think is the best actor on the show, and that is Kristen Milotti playing Sophia. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen a lead like that, a female lead like that, in a long time. That is so captivating. I mean, she's going to win every Emmy. There's no doubt about it. But to instill fear in a viewer, the way she conducts herself, it is, I can't think, truly, she's one of the best new villains I've seen in a long time. And I'll say she's a villain. You can kind of take that upon yourself. I'm not trying to give any spoilers here. But Kristen Milotti as Sophia, my gosh, these layered, complex scenes. She's just shining. And so there's a great line where she looks at the Penguin and she says, "You think you can control everything, but you can't control yourself." Ooh, man, it is so good. Big shout to Kristen Milotti. Unbelievable actress. Every single episode of The Penguin has gotten progressively better. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what the next move is going to be. And I even know a bit of the storyline knowing the comics. Bravo to HBO and Max and whoever is putting this together, the cast and the crew. You're amazing. And a big shout out to my friend Clancy Brown. I was fortunate enough to work on a film called Homefront with Clancy in Louisiana. We became friends, and he's just one of the nicest, most amazing guys in the world, and one of the best actors too. So when he popped up on the screen, I didn't know you were going to be there, buddy. We did talk afterwards. We mostly talked baseball and family, but he is just a stupendous person. And so when he popped on the screen, I was like, yeah! And so does most of the audience, because everybody loves you, Clancy, including myself, buddy. We'll talk soon. But congrats on another awesome role. And that's why I think The Penguin is a new classic. If you enjoyed this video, give me a like. Or you know what? I know where you live. I'm the critic. I can find any information. And guess what? If you really want to do well, you might want to subscribe. I'm just saying. I know where you live. I do know one thing. Today will be a great day. To the top, never stop. Let's go. What'd you think? I would love to know what you guys think. So I shot that at 6 in the morning today. I got up like at 5. I was all excited because I want to obviously have, some produced segments for you and then mostly keep it live. But I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to be taking that segment, adding some B-roll to it. You know what? You're right.
You're right, Rachel. Clancy was the villain in Shawshank. Very good. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that, bro. DTF. Muchas gracias. Cool. Yeah, that was the goal. It's funny because everything is so segmented these days. We don't have as many, I would say like a lot of things that connect us culturally wise or pop culture wise because everybody is in their own thing. Sports, everybody can kind of have that moment because everybody's watching that game or that particular moment. But I have found as I talk about the Penguin or something like that, and especially at the Melbourne Toy and Comic Con, shout out to Famous Faces and Funnies, sponsor of Top of the Morning. Famous Faces and Funnies, their amazing toy convention. I was talking about the Penguin, and some people would be like, oh, I'm watching that show. And other people would be like, oh, I don't have Max. Oh, shout out to Kimber. See, I sold you on it. Oh, you're going to love it. I know you love Game of Thrones, so you'll love this show. Oh man, I totally lost my train of thought because I was like, hey, Kim, what's up? Oh yeah, that's what it was. People have their own thing. So no, I have Apple Plus, or I have Netflix, or I have Disney Plus. I'm one of those people that kind of has them all, except for Apple Plus, actually. And so I think eventually as things go and they get basically bought out because these studios are selling themselves, you'll be able to find it a lot easier. But see, before, during COVID, if you guys didn't notice, you wouldn't be able to get a Disney Plus show on Amazon or Apple or whatever. That's gone. That did not work. The siloing of media that happened during COVID did not work. There's too many people, and there's not enough. You can't just hold on to your own things. So Disney was making a lot of money on Netflix licensing their stuff, and they stopped that, remember? But then they're like, hey, look, do you mind if we come back? So basically what I'm saying is you have to listen to people that you kind of trust, especially their taste, in order to check something out. And the Penguin is spectacular. Shame on you, Rachel, for not checking it out. That is what Eddie is saying. You're going to check it out? Cool. I should get a profit of that. Hey, DC, write your boy a check. Your family really enjoyed watching Hawkeye. I wish it would return, but we understand why it didn't. If you during that video, I talk about that. And thank you guys for liking and sharing this. I really, really appreciate it. Not just thinking or not doing it. Every time you like and subscribe, I look at it. I see all the likes. So it really helps a lot. Amanda Carson, Tanya Hamilton, Asher Hamilton. How many Hamiltons do we have in here today? Kevin Hamilton, Asher Hamilton, Tanya Hamilton. This is a Hamilton show. Hamilton. Matt Doolittle, Joyce Satin. You guys are awesome. Jessica Reelin, what's up, girl? Kimberly, Kimber, Doug, Pam. You guys are awesome. Was it Penguin they showed the last episode? Was it Penguin they showed it? I don't know what you're saying now. I don't know what you're saying now. You haven't caught it yet, but the trailer of the female villain really pops, so no shock here. I mean, I'm telling you, man. It's a real weird thing. I shouldn't say it's a weird thing, but it's a hard thing to play a female tough character, right? I've worked with some amazing, on Walking Dead, Melissa McBride, Lauren, on and on. Every female on that show was awesome. But it was kind of very funny because some really took it upon themselves to really be, trained and tough. And then some like Melissa McBride, who I love, who played Carol on Walking Dead. She was the sweetest. I work with her a lot. And she is an artist. Beautiful. She was an acting teacher before. There's not a mean bone in her body, I think. And she's tiny. She's tiny. And so when she'd be knocking people out on The Walking Dead, and I'd be standing next to her, and I'm like, movie magic. Movie magic. Hawkeye is your family's favorite. The Bard, you're my family's favorite. The Bard. You're my family's favorite commenter, is The Bard, because of that amazing. Yes, Rachel, they're not throwing away their shot. Do we have any birds in the audience? Watch your backs, Hamiltons. that was meant to. They showed Penguin in the Amanda. I'm not gonna bust you out there, okay? I know there are some other people right now going, it's not Penguin, it's Kingpin. So that's actually what I was talking about. That that I really think that what's going on with Penguin right now should have been Kingpin. That should have been Kingpin. You should have had my crazy ass with Alex and Piotr, and we could have been running the city, doing stuff, comedy stuff and real stuff, working with Daredevil, fighting against Daredevil. Thank you for getting me back on track, Eddie. Oh, I didn't take my ADHD medicine. I should probably take my ADHD medicine, huh? Yeah, I think so. Because I've gotten off track here several times. But it's inside. Okay, so, Sophia. It's very difficult to play, trying to make women heroines masculine equal is old and fake. Yeah, I agree. I think there's some that can play it, right? You know, I think Mandalorian, you had, what's her face? Can't remember her name, but she was an MMA fighter. You know, you can pull it off. I think you can pull it off. You know, Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2. So there's a lot of guys, by the way, too. This is not just a diss to, this isn't a diss to females, because there's plenty of dudes that I have met that are action stars that are tiny. That, like, you literally look at, you're like, so you're supposed to be kicking everywhere. Okay. So, but yeah, I would say, yeah, I think it's oversaturating when they do it with no backstory. And so how you have to manipulate it, and the reason you're right, it is so much more realistic, is because she's getting in their heads. You know, she's like, and she can be aggressive, and she can be, it's just, she's playing it perfectly. She's playing it perfectly. Huh, that's a really interesting line. We need to celebrate differences, not make everyone equally unrealistic. That's interesting. Yeah, I could agree with that. I know, I got you. It's all good. It's all good. And that's, I mean, it is confusing when you got so many of these characters and you're like, wait a second, is Kingpin this? No. So, I hope you guys can check it out because it is a fantastic, fantastic show. So, we are going to move on to, what do y'all want to move on to next, huh? Let me see here. I'm going to check and see if I can do something here. All right, so, Severance. Yeah, I was told about Severance. I think Rachel told me about Severance, saying how good it was. So I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check that one out. That one keeps popping up when people are like, you know, top of the morning to you, James, all the way from Toronto. Yep, it was you, Rachel. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. All right. So let us flip and talk about. Oh, you know what? Before we move on, so thank you, The Bard. Penguin is awesome, and so is Agatha all along. I'm so happy for Marvel and this new show that they have, Agatha all along, which is connected to WandaVision. I haven't watched it, but I hear it's doing really, really well, and I love that. Anytime Marvel does well, I'm like, woohoo, because they were good to me, and I love them, and I want to work for them again one day, quite honestly. So, and that's great to hear that the show is doing well. And that's what happened, guys. You got to remember during COVID, there was an oversaturation of media because they were just, they had money to spend. And so, you know, we got a lot of stuff out. And then the people who were in charge of it, they kind of couldn't maintain it all. They couldn't maintain it all. And so now what you're seeing is back quality control for sure. She only watched episode 1. I like the format of copying other TV shows. I need to get back in there. I like the format of copying other TV shows. What that means. Eddie, not a fan of Agatha. I don't know if that show's for you, Eddie. I think they really leaned into the female demographic on that one. I will work for them again. Bard, I love you, bro. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Wonder if Agatha All Along connects with Fantastic Four, the character in the comics becomes linked with. I think it does. I think it does. I got to meet Kevin Feige when I worked on Hawkeye. And Kevin Feige is the Steven Spielberg of the Marvel world. He's the one who really, has brought it all to life, quite honestly. And when I was shooting Hawkeye, all the shows were just coming out. All the TV shows were coming out, and WandaVision had just come out. And he was so nervous about how people would take it. And WandaVision was a big hit, and of course, there's been a lot of different things. But I am so happy. I feel like he's got his hands back on all the products now, and they're all going to succeed like they did before. The show is very feminine and gay. Well, you know what? Some shows need to be feminine and gay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Might not be your cup of tea. I may like it. Maybe other people may not like it. It's the marketplace, right? Ultimately, it's the marketplace. That's why I believe that it's hard to infuse agendas into storytelling. When you're like, your agenda isn't to tell a great story or make a great movie or show. It's about to push a cause or something like that. That's tough. So when you have, the marketplace, it doesn't matter what type of thing they're jumping into. If the market likes it, they'll make more of it. If the market doesn't like it, they won't. So really want to get an actor. I'm not really digging it. I love the actors. See, this is why it is. It's kind of weird to say that, Los, that you're getting back to quality, because Netflix came out and they said they're focused on just pushing out as much as they can. You're so right. Netflix takes a different approach. Netflix is still ahead with making money. They're like, if in the streaming world, they're the big dogs. They're the ones who are leading the charge and everybody's kind of catching up. And I think with Netflix, I don't know about y'all, but I do want to know. Let me know. Do you think of movies differently if they're just on Netflix or if they come out into theaters? I want to know what you guys think. If you say, oh, it's a Netflix movie, do you look at it differently? You're like, oh, that's not as big a deal? Or do you look at it just in the same way as if something got released? I want to know. Nope. So you look at it exactly the same. Netflix throwing out slop to the trough, which are some of the people, they just want slop. Same way, huh? Look at them pretty much the same. I don't. And I tell you, see, Rachel, movie is a movie no matter what. See, I gotta disagree with you guys. Yeah, there is a difference. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, I've been a part of 2 Netflix shows. Okay, so I've been a part of Bloodline and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, produced by Netflix. And I liked working for Netflix. And you look at it, definitely the same. I like to see big action on big screen. Definitely. Huh. This is good because it's like one of those situations where you're like, I may see something different. Oh, you definitely not the same at all. Okay, that makes more sense. I was kind of surprised that you thought they were the same. I think, well, here's how movies on streaming get made. They give them a buttload of money, and then they kind of say, make the movie. And then they show up later and like, okay, we like it, put it on. That is not how feature films are made, because they have to be released. There's producers, there's studios, so the reason I think we're getting, because Netflix wants you to go and stay and watch. So if you see the new Chris Pratt one out there, if you see a new Will Smith one out there, because I think Will Smith's film was one of the first big ones. I think it was called Blink or something like that. Top of the morning. Want to say top of the morning? Top of the morning. It all makes sense because of Madam Web as a set of women. Yeah, they're trying to build a new team. Yeah, for sure. Top of the morning to you, Tanya. So Yeah, and that's true. You know, like I would expect me to, because I know the ins and outs of movie making. 100%, guys. You got to think about this, and I talk about this with my wife all the time. She's a design master. Like, she looks at a room and she can put things together. She can theme things out. She's brilliant. I don't have that skill. I look at something and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty good, you know. And I would say maybe I'm a little bit better than some other people, but not like, I'm probably more average. But my wife will look at it and go, "Oh my God, that's so different. That stands out. You got to fix that." And I always tell her, like, most people don't have your eye, so you have to understand. So whatever it is that you do for a living, you have an added advantage of your perception of the world. So when you're judging something, you're like, "Oh, that's what this is," but no, you're judging it through your lens and your experience and your wisdom. And that's the same thing I do with movies. I will judge them immediately through my lens, and I can't do that every time because most people aren't obsessed with movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Does that make sense? It is case by case. There's a reason. Well, you know, there's the film Air came out last year, about Nike and Michael Jordan and stuff like that, and they have released these films in the theater because they have seen that it does affect the way people view it, you know. Oh, dude, of course, DTF. When you're working in video all the time, you can't help but see it. Megan does have some skills. Yes, she does. Sort of like in the 90s, all blockbusters were sequels. Yeah, dude, that's a really, really good parallel, Evans. Disney made billions of dollars on Aladdin 2, The Lion King 4, Pumbaa's Revenge, The Little Mermaid 6, Ariel skateboarding. They made so much money off of videos back then. And you're right, we wouldn't take those. That is a perfect parallel. We wouldn't take those movies as serious as the originals. Even The Lion King 2 or 3, the one with Timon and Pumbaa, where where it's the story from their end, excellent. Excellent. Air was a great movie. Loved Air. Loved Air. Thought it was really great. They released that in the theaters. Okay, that was a little side. That was a little side quest we did there. But it's okay. We can do side quests. We can totally do side quests. All right. Let's move on. Do you want to move on? Well, we talked. Oh, let's. You know what? I got to bring in my man. You know who's got to come in here and talk to us. You know he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You love him. He is the #1 celebrity trash reporter in Florida and Okinawa. He won an award for Celebrity Trash Reporter of Okinawa. I mean, this guy is so cultured. He's so unique. 6 kids he has. 6 kids with his partner, Lance. And, I'm sorry, his husband. They recently got married. And I just want to give a big shout out and a lot of love to Tea Time Teddy. It's so good to be here with you guys because I'm just so excited to talk about everything that's happening. It's so good. I love The Penguin. It's a great, great show. It really, really is. Tea Time, I knew you would like The Penguin. You like crazy shows. We partied that one time. Remember that one time? Yeah. Oh my God, it was so great. We went to Rachel's. The girls knew you. It was a long time ago, but we had a good time. And I'd love to do it again sometime with you, Carlos. I really, really would. I think it'd be so much fun. No doubt, bro. No doubt. Now, you gotta clue us in. It says, I hear you got a new P. Diddy case that's pretty shocking. Yeah, it is. Very, very shocking. It's absolutely horrible, and we got all the details here. I'll send it down the line. I want you to talk about this, Carlos. But do you mind putting a more serious music in the background? I think it would be better if you did that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can do that. I have this song here. Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah, it's creepy. And I think this works. Triple T, they love you. Triple T, they're here for you. yeah, let's talk a little tea time. I'm getting serious here now because this P. Diddy case, it ain't good. It is not good. It's horrendous. It's the worst thing, and I just want you to tell it because I get so mad at P. Diddy because he's a piece of crap. And the things that he did, he deserves to get in jail for a long, 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 long time. Yeah, you should. Why don't you take a sip of your drink? Yo, we're going to start selling this mic cup here very soon. We're going to start selling this mic cup very soon. Check it out. Show them to him, Teddy. Sick. Oh, yeah. Allegedly. Let's get that right. We don't need to be sued because they ain't going to get no money. All right. Let's talk about this case. Man. Okay, so let's set the scene. Let's do a little banner. We love banners here. Hold on a second. We love banners. P. Diddy new case. Because remember, guys, the goal during the live shows is to do funny things on the screen so then when people are scrolling, they stop and they go, who's this bald-headed idiot? And they watch. So that is a big thing that I do. And so one thing, P. Diddy, shocking. Oh, yeah, shocking. And it is shocking, guys. New. It is so gross. Let's go into it. Oh, you're right. I haven't fake cried lately. I should fake. You know what? I'll fake cry on the show. Thank you, Rachel, for the reminder. All right. So, how's my mic levels, guys? I think my levels were too low before. All right. Here we go. I'll start it here in a second. Oh, Jesus. Get that out of here. So, every day, a new P. Diddy story pops up. Every day. I mean, this is one of the biggest cases. Here, I'm going to start it over. Here we go. I'm going to start it over in 3, 2, 1. This new P. Diddy case is unbelievable. And it's going to keep on coming because this guy, once he's been arrested, now the people who were afraid, the victims, and I'll be quite honest, probably people that are just trying to get a buck, are like, now it's time to go find a lawyer and sue P. Diddy's ass because he did some things with some asses. You see this headline here. Diddy sued. You raped me with a TV remote. For those who don't know, P. Diddy's history goes way back. Way, way back. He had a beef with a lot of people. Tupac being the biggest. Tupac is my favorite artist of all time. I know his history frontwards and backwards. Allegedly, P. Diddy had him killed. Allegedly, P. Diddy had him shot. He made a song called Hit 'Em Up. It is the #1 diss rap song of all time. He goes directly at P. Diddy, directly at Biggie. And so after P. Diddy, or after Tupac releases this song, P. Diddy becomes enraged. To pay back a woman for telling him he believed he had something to do with Tupac's murder, P. Diddy raped a woman with a remote. What the? Allegedly. So the story goes, Ashley Parham, and I'm about to tell you, you're about to see who the Jessalyn Maxwell is of this world. P. Diddy prays to Lucifer? Yeah. P. Diddy talk. Hell yeah. So, I'm about to tell you who the Jessalyn Maxwell. Who's Jessalyn Maxwell? The Epstein, the person who Jeffrey Epstein helped get all the women and all this gross stuff. You're about to see it, who I think it is in a second. You're going to hear a lot more of this woman's name. And once again, if you know somebody who's really into this P. Diddy case, tag them. Make sure to give them a heart. Make sure to give them a like. So, the bad Ashley Parham claims that Diddy sexually assaulted her in a gangbang-style rape after she dissed him on a FaceTime call. According to the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Parham met a friend of Diddy's at a bar in February of 2018. He called Diddy on FaceTime, boom. But Parham says she wasn't impressed by the man's famous friend, telling Diddy to his face that she thought he played a part in Tupac's death. This is all part of the case that is being alleged. Parham claims Diddy told her she would pay for her Tupac comment and overall dismissal of him. And she says 1 month later, Diddy's friend set her up for Diddy to rape her. In the suit, Parham says the man met her at the bar, invited her over to his home, and when she was there, who shows up? P. Diddy. She thought she'd never seen him in person. She says P. Diddy held a knife to the side of her face and said that he would give her a Glasgow smile. Who the fuck says that shit? Except evil villains. Glasgow smile. I'm telling you, P. Diddy is a legit villain. Nobody says the words Glasgow smile. So, Parham claims that Diddy's top consultant, this is who I think, allegedly, I have no real facts, this is just my assumption, who I think Diddy's Jessalyn Maxwell is. Kristen Korn. This lawsuit claims that Diddy's top consultant, Christina Coram, was there too. And KK told Diddy not to cut Parham's face because they could sell her to potential clients for sex? What the fuck? Parham claims KK then threatened to ship her off anywhere in the world and that her family would never see her again. This is what villains say and do. If a quarter of this is true, it's horrendous. This is who she is. This is who a lot of people are saying is P. Diddy's Jessalyn Maxwell, the person that would set these females up, the person that would run their business. She was with his right-hand man for 8 years. Literally, that's what Diddy says. I don't know what I would do without her. Think about that. Now, guys, it gets real heinous here. So I hope we don't have any real sensitive people. In the case, Parham claims Diddy took off her clothes, removed the knife from her face, and then got a bottle of liquid from a large fanny pack and covered her body in it. She says Diddy and KK tried to insert something into her, and they referred to it as an IUD, but it malfunctioned, and then Diddy picked up a TV remote and inserted it. These allegations, man. Parham claims Diddy told her that her life was in his hands and that he could take her. She would never be seen again. Do you understand? You know, and once again, this is what she's saying. What must have felt like? I mean, not only just the sheer terror of somebody doing this to you, but then you're looking up and you're like, yo, this is the more money, more problems guy. She then says that 2 other men raped her as well. After the rape, this is what the claim is saying. Diddy and her buddies left her limp body inside the home as they went to the backyard to smoke some weed and cigarettes. She says finally, when she regained her bodily function, she grabbed a knife and an oversized shirt and tried to leave. Diddy grabbed her, Surprise, not enough drugs to take her out. Parham claims Diddy told her that he hadn't had... Oh, I don't even want to say any of this. But it's just horrendous. He does... This is just very similar to what we've seen him do time and time again. Violence, threats, kidnapping, drugs, extortion. She says she reported the rape to the Walnut Creek police, but she was told law enforcement agency had opened an active investigation into... They hadn't done it, or had opened it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? This is not gonna be ending anytime soon. You think it's a pig? Heinous. Awful. I think the Penguin has more morals than P. Diddy. The Penguin wouldn't do what P. Diddy just did. Can I have some Cinnamon Toast Crunch while I talk about this, guys? I believe singing involving him. Well, how has this been going on for so long? Well, it's how gangsters run, man. Imagine this. He was a billionaire. He had connections. When you have connections, you have to think about where you're at and then build out, right? Because that's what major gangsters do. How the gangster families run back in the day was they had connections all the way down the line. So for him, he had local police connections. Then he had local judges. Then he had state and federal judges. Then he had congressmen. And then let's say that you were involved in the music industry. Let's say you were an up-and-coming artist. Hey, I want to make it. And you get involved, and next thing you know, you go to a party, and P. Diddy says, hey, if you want the next record, you're going to sleep with me. And you're a female, and you're young, you're a guy, you're young. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have done it because I don't need a record that bad. But you go like, okay, I get, and then he does it, and he does horrendous things, then he films it, and then he says, oh, I got you. Because if you think you're going to get away from me, I'll release this tape and I'll show everybody what a whore you are. I'll show everybody what a piece of shit you are. Now I got you. It's what mafia people would do to politicians and police officers. They would get them hooked up with hookers and get them drugs, and they say, you're dirty now. I got you. Does that make sense? And then you grow more power, and then you do charitable acts, because the duality of a villain a lot of times is that they do a lot of good. They do a lot of good. P. Diddy gave a lot of back to the community because they have to cover up, these shameful things that they do. So that's how you get away with it for a long, long time. And then it takes somebody really with a lot of guts like Cassie, who was abused and beat up allegedly and was able to get out there and do it. So that's how you get away with doing it. And then you have a lot of people helping you, quite frankly. Los, what if Tupac asked? Oh, I'd say yes. I mean, come on. Sexy. We should have Believe Nas with Diddy when he's saying you can hate me now. Oh, yeah. Was that against... No, I thought that was the Jay-Z beef. Oh, no, that was Ether. When you have that much power, you need to be checked. And it wasn't. Well said, Alina. There's that phrase, and I'll probably mess it up, but I love it. It says, it's like, absolute power corrupts. God damn it, I knew I was going to mess it up. It's like absolute power corrupts 100% of the time or something. It's a good line. You guys can find it, put it up there. You know, and now that these interviews are coming out, you can see these interviews, the way this guy spoke, the way that he talked about other people. You know, he changed his name a million times. You know that, right? He was Sean Puff Daddy Combs, and then he was P. Diddy. Then he was Diddy. Then he was Brother Love. And I've noticed that a lot of these guys who do heinous shit, like Kanye's also done a bunch of fucking said and done a bunch of horrible shit. They change their names a lot. I think it's like they're like, oh, if I change my name, I shed that other person. I don't know. But it's going to get deeper and deeper. Now, I do want to say that there are a bunch of people out there, like Jaguar, right? People talking a lot about the P. Diddy thing. And you got to take a lot, not everything with a grain of salt, because for sure when, oh, there it is. There's that line. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. No doubt. Look, I mean, I think another guy right now that is in this world is Conor McGregor. I know it's just a random shout out of Conor McGregor, but like when I think of absolute power, I feel like when you have absolute power over your own self, like nobody can tell you what to do. I don't have that life. I do something, there's going to be people that I affect, and they're going to be like, you can't do that. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I can't do that. I'm a father, I'm a husband. I need to make money. I need to do this, you know, like, but there are some people that's gone, like the P. Diddy's and the Conor McGregors, the Elon Musks. You know, they just have no... I know they're all different, you know. But Snoop saying fuck Kanye on the radio yesterday. Ooh. I didn't see that. I like to hear that because I'm kind of on the F Kanye kick right now. Barbara, you are a nice person. But stuff like this makes you mad. It shouldn't make you mad. It's upsetting. Now, I will say this as far as, and I'll change the banner to put up there because people do like saying, what P. Diddy parties were like. Let's add that banner because this is what I think the P. Diddy parties were like. All right. You know how they're trying to say like everybody who went to the party is involved? No. I've been to some crazy ass parties. And I've been to some parties with a lot of famous people. And I've been to some parties with not famous people. And I've been to parties where I left early. And I've been to parties where I was the last one there. And the way that usually things work, so like, you know, obviously you see all these, I don't think every celebrity that went to P. Diddy's white party is culpable. Okay? For many of you who maybe liked to party back in the day, you do understand that when you go to a party, no matter what party, if it's a real good-ass party, I'm talking one you get dressed up, you know, fun, whatever, there's a party at the beginning, right? And if it's going to be a good one, okay, party at the beginning. Let's say that's the white party at P. Diddy's house. I never went to the white party, never got invited to the white party, quite frankly. But I have been to the Playboy Mansion party. But I have been to premieres of Hollywood movies. I have been to some sick-ass parties. Now, exactly, DTF. The parties would have thousands of people go to them. That is not thousands of people gangbanging and doing horrific stuff that is being alleged. No. So we got the party. Let's say all of us, all of the toppers got invited to the P. Diddy party. We all are there. We're oh my God, we're at P. Diddy's party. Oh my God. P. Diddy. Oh, look what I spelled. P. Diddy. So, now, P. Diddy is not really having fun at that party. He's there, he's on his mic, he's looking around, he's picking out who's gonna go to the next level, like a video game. Think of a horrendous video game, okay? Level 1 is the white party. And there's kids walking around and whatever, okay? But then just like every other party, guys, you understand, if you don't do drugs, you don't party, those people are not going to include you into their party. You're not even going to know that half the people there are on yay. You're not going to know that some people are on Molly. You're not going to know this person's high as hell. They're not going to include you in it, but they're going to tell the other people that are partying. And that party continues later on into the night. So let's say the white party ends at 11 or 12. It's pretty late. For me personally, if I'm at a party at 12 right now these days, wow, I am partying. Especially when you don't drink, that is late. Yes, Julie, he's scouting. Scouting. DTF, Triple T did go to a party. He's going to tell you more about that on another show. So now people leave. And now we got the first layer of the transition into the last party is where that crazy stuff happens. The last part of the party. If you're there at 2 a.m., you're going to see and that's going to be a residual and people brought in towards the end. And see, if majority of those people knew the rumors and what was going on, but their careers meant more to I think, yeah, with some. I think some people really knew what was going on. And then I think a lot of people just thought, oh, they just get freaky deaky in there. And then some people really knew the horrendous shit. This show is the only place you get your P. Diddy news. Awesome. We'll see, right? Because if the rumor... No, it's not rumors. There are videos right now of a very huge pop star, something happening to him by P. Diddy that's trying to be sold on the dark net. So P. Diddy's he's talking. He's gonna talk. He's gonna say whatever he has to say to reduce his prison time. I mean, he's not gonna get out of jail anytime soon. But it will be interesting. Is Jay-Z involved? I mean, I don't know. I tend to think if you're hanging around somebody, if there were so many multiple pictures of me and somebody hanging out, you gotta be culpable a little bit, right? Like, who are those people? DJ Khaled, Jay-Z, French Montana, Meek Mill. Yeah, it was there. It was there. I just don't know how much people really, really, really knew. You know? We'll see, though. We shall see. That is what's happening in the new P. Diddy case. Okay, now we gotta switch it up. Now we do something a little... We're sticking with villains, but we're gonna do something a little different, okay? Do something a little different because I found this and thought it was so cool. Pop this off here because I love we ended the show the other day doing DuckTales, and I don't want to do it again just because we've done it a couple times already, but like it went into the different versions of DuckTales after I signed off. There was like the French version of DuckTales, the Spanish version of DuckTales. It's actually kind of funny. Yeah, how about them Dodgers? I am obsessed with baseball right now. Baseball is so good. Did you watch the Yankees game last night? Oh my God, insane. I think you're right. The people that were like, oh, Diddy's a freak. And I think, yeah. I mean, he's a freak. You don't get in the boat, but I don't think, I like I said, I think some people maybe, you know. All right. So, let's talk a little this. Give some flowers to somebody. And I want to know how many of you guys knew this. Is it a stretch break? Do we need to do a stretch break? I think we need to do a little stretch break. Yeah, because I need to do a stretch break for sure. I gotta clear the palate, right? We gotta clear the palate. Little dancing. Yeah, no, I thought they were gonna win last night, man. The 2 home runs by Judge and Giancarlo, and then but that was this postseason has been unreal. Kim, look, it's real. I learned some new moves. Julie, did you see I just learned? It's called a pirouette. What do you think of the shirt, guys? What do you think? I got it at Target. Pretty much where I shop is where I got my credit card still. Kohl's and Target. It's a mixture of skulls and roses. Thank you, Rachel. Hey, and Barbara, by the way, send me your info so I can, I'll be seeing you, Barbara. Send me the info so I can send you that gift certificate, okay? That you won. All right. But they came back, though, man. All right. That was fun. That was fun. Okay. This is going to be fun, too. I told you I had to clear the palate. I had to clear the palate because when we talk about Diddy, it's tough. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is just fun because I'm a voice actor too. I've been in video, I've done video games, been in Red Dead Redemption, Madden. I love doing voices. I do them all day long, actually. And I even just do them at the house. Randomly, and my little one is now copying my voices, and I couldn't be happier. And my oldest, one thing that I always love doing, I don't just perform on a mic or on a stage. The world is a stage, my friends. And for my kids, I've always, even the things that you may have heard me do on different shows and stuff like singing songs and improv and characters, I've always done that around my kids. Because I always wanted them to think that was like a normal thing, that it was easy to do, to improv, to freestyle, whatever. And I never told them, hey, I'm doing this so that you guys can pick up on it and do it one day. But it totally has happened. You know, Lennon is writing songs with her guitar, my oldest, and playing piano, and she's just able to create. She's like, I'm creating those, you know, just how you used to sing those songs around the house, and you still do. I'm like, yes. Your actions will always speak so much louder than your words, and especially with kids. So makes me very, 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 very happy. You know, it's amazing what people say to their kids without realizing, because it's just, you got to infuse the good stuff, man. Reading in wacky voices, the kids, oh yeah, they love it. They love it. Awesome. All right, cool. So let me show you this. I came across this the other day. I just thought it was cool. Since we're talking villains, I found this awesome video of somebody you may not know. Okay, so for a lot of people, you don't understand how voice acting works. You're just like, hey, what is it? The audition? You know what? It's really crazy how many shows come about where people have an idea of somebody's voice, and then they go, okay, I'm writing it after them. But this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Very famous villain, Shredder. Now, before we go into this, how many of you watching right now know who voiced Shredder? And now, don't look it up. Come on, man. Don't look it up. Just think. We'll give you a couple seconds. Look it up. Take a moment. Who? Oh, good job, Julie. No cavities. Good for you. I probably got some cavities. I ate way too much sugar. Who voiced Shredder? Ooh, DTF. This is going to make you smile. No idea. Don't look it up, anybody. Don't look it up. We're about to find out. Don't look it up. I didn't know either, DTF. I've held on to this topic for a while because I was like, oh, I know this will be good. Look at you, Zach. Corey Feldman. Great guess, not Corey Feldman. Rachel's also stumped. I know that was funny. We'll take one more. Julie's wondering. Oh, you ready? Oh, wait a second. Ladies and gentlemen, before we find out, I want to say hello to my beautiful daughter. You're about to leave? You're heading to Miami? Oh, tell the people. Where are you going?
The Eras Tour.
She's going to the Eras Tour. Give me a big hug. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Have fun. All right? Have fun, guys. So, about to head out. It's cool. So, let me show you guys who... Oh, you're going? You're going on Saturday. Have fun. Oh, what's up, Stella? How you doing? Have fun, LL. You ready? I will play a clip. Here we go. Here we go.
Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
He was 6'2", 240?
Well, that's true, because, you know, I did Fresh Prince for a long time, and whenever I'd go somewhere, somebody
James
would
Avery,
research, and they found
Uncle
out that
Phil.
I was the voice of Shredder on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and there were kids in the audience that throw that voice on.
I'll take care of them once and for all.
They just, oh, yeah! Oh, you know, of course, these kids are like 19, 20 now, so. Shredder was basically your straight-ahead villain, but within that, there were levels that were found with the interaction between Krang and myself, and there were levels that I found as an actor to play him, so he wasn't just always, you turtles, I'll kill you, that kind of thing, you know, so there was a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. So,
Like most actors, you know, I became acquainted with the Turtles through an audition process. I had just done a series called Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestlers. I just gotten a voice agent, as a matter of fact, because I'd done a live action series for Hanna-Barbera called Going Bananas. And one of the people on that show suggested that I get a voice agent. And I said, sure, can I make money? Fine. You know, I need the job. When you audition for a voice, they show you what the character looks like, and you have to try to put that voice to it, which is a part of the skill. I mean, I don't consider myself a voice actor. I mean, there are much more talented people than myself. I consider myself very lucky to have fallen into the situation. Part of the sessions for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was just sitting and listening to the repartee between the actors. It was such a joy, and everybody was so smart and witty and
It seems like all we ever do anymore is rent movies.
Of course, Leonardo. With Shredder trapped in Dimension X, we've got a lot of spare leisure time.
the voices that they would come up with and the things that they would do. I mean, I'd sit there half the time going, oh, my turn, you know?
Oh, I feel so hard.
that's it, bro. Isn't that crazy?
I know I'm going to sound like a Pollyanna or whatever, but I can't explain to you what fun it was. It was like the old days. It was like, you know, old radio theater. It was just a joy. You know, we just went to work. You just did your job. And every once in a while you get some news that people really liked it, or someone would call you and, you know, say, wow, you know, my kids really love this show and whatever. And you're just happy. And it was like going to a party every 2 days, you know. I mean, they're paying me to do this. I'm getting paid and paid.
So James Avery, Uncle Phil of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So at the same time, and 43-year-old guy, 90s kid. Yes, the Bard. Rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace. And, oh, you wanted to be April so bad. I definitely wanted something about April so bad. I was yeah, you know I'm a Michelangelo guy. My personality is built off of Michelangelo, Bart Simpson, and Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's pretty much those three. Yeah, the Feldman guess is almost even better. Yeah. Yeah, I was doing some research on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and when this came up, I was shocked. And isn't it amazing though how Uncle Phil, who played a lot of people's dad, who played the role of that for a lot of people. J. Cole, in a very famous song, he talks about how he says Uncle Phil was his dad too. So that's the beauty of an actor. That's the beauty of the range of an actor, and that's what I also, hope that I can push out there, that I can give that range of entertaining, and so he was the sweetest, nicest, loving judge parent on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then when he was here, he was Shredder. And yes, I have practiced Shredder's voice many times. I'll get you, blasted turtles. And then there was Splinter. Yeah, dude, Michelangelo was the voice that I always loved. And Donatello was a little bit more nerdy. But Shredder was definitely the voice that I did the most of. Who would like to get a shout out? Oh, Brandy. Oh, I will get you. No wonder you love Top of the Morning and all the silly things I do, Brandy. You wanted to be April, and you love Michelangelo. That's why you're here on Top of the Morning. You do suspiciously obsess about pizza. Are you well, it might be Michelangelo, bro. That's kind of more of a Shaggy. Did I like the new movie and series? I did. Yeah. I thought they were great. Yeah, I've watched them. They're very good. You're more of a Donatello type. Donatello is a tech guy. I could use some pizza right now. I could use some pizza. Let's hear the rest of this, because I do love. I love the idea that he was, our like such a horrible villain, and then loving uncle.
Please, I'll pay down if I can afford it. But I was just looking for a voice, and I found one. And then, and as I read the script, I could make different choices. And then I had someone named Pat Fraley, who played Krang, who was the other villain, and we had each other to play off of. And
Shredder,
Who is this woman?
Who is this woman?
My mother.
and we found different levels through that. No character, irregardless of how he's written, is one note. No
right.
character has one level.
That's right.
Of whatever. There are all kinds of things. There are all kinds of there's not just anger. There's all kinds of anger, that's motivated from all kinds of different things. It's not just joy. There are all kinds of joy. It's just, and it depends on relationships. And the relationship that I had with Krang, like you said, it was like we treated it like an old married couple, because we were in this together. If there is
after
any
you
immortality
you
in this
can't
world,
help but hear his voice.
it's to know that what we've done is, in a sense, immortal. And
It is
as
immortal.
long as there's a recording somewhere, it'll be here. Someone will be listening to it.
We're doing it right now, buddy.
So that it's timeless.
Rest in peace, James. We love you, man.
And that's kind of an amazing thing to think about. That what you do will be around. So you got to be careful what you do.
Oh, I love it. I didn't see the end of that
I'm
before.
retired. I've been living in Palm Springs. Krang and I are divorced now. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I kind of miss him, but not really. He was such a nag. I hope he has a good life, but I doubt it. Yes, I lie in the sun, I count my money, and I play with the lizards in the desert. Thank you.
Oh, that was great. Oh, man, that was so great. This is when you think of Hollywood, I know, especially in this day and age with the craziness, I want you to think about people like James Avery, people that are just working, people that are good-hearted. Yeah, in any industry, there are some pieces of shit, but there are some good people out there. And from everybody who I know that worked with James Avery or knew him, said he was just a hell of a guy, man. So you learned something new today, didn't you? Didn't you? You didn't think you were gonna, learn that James Avery. Oh, here's a good question. What's easier, voice acting or regular acting? I can see pros and cons of both. I'll tell you, it is weird. I know some actors that are just primarily do voice, and I do both. My regular TV and film agent also gets me voiceover work, but really that is its own separate thing. It's difficult to break into. It's a numbers game as well. There are several sites that offer auditions and different things that you can sign up on, and you get work. In this age of AI, where you can copy somebody's voice in a matter of seconds, it gets more difficult. The stuff that I did was always a little bit more character based, but it just depends on the gig. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, when I did Red Dead Redemption 2, it was a very difficult voice setting because I was with the producer right there, and it was rapid fire, and I didn't know the character, and it was just going down the line, and my face had me. So that was difficult. The technical aspects, I would say the most difficult acting is when you all fully with the dots and the green screen, and you're in like a weird suit. Like when I've done Madden and a couple other things, I had to be in that suit, and it's uncomfortable. And you're acting in it, and you're looking at somebody, and they're in a weird suit. So a lot of video game stuff that I've done is difficult to do technically. Yeah. Didn't know if there's a weird question asked, but we'll see if you hear. I don't know if this is a weird question asked, but will we see or hear you in anything coming up? No, not right now. The industry in its whole is slow. What I'm working on is just really trying to make my own movie and my own show. And no, I've auditioned and I had some stuff here for some big films, but it's just difficult, man. It's just one of those things, man. You got to get you got to hit off all the right things to book. So luckily, I'm in a good position to book. I'm ready to go. Just nothing out there right now, truly. But I will tell you, DTF, I'm making a movie. It's going to be big. It's going to be action. It's going to be comedy. It's going to be like something you've never seen before, and it will. I'm directing, writing, acting in it. I have all the pieces. I'm literally. It's going to happen. It's already here in my head. I know the world will enjoy this film. Voice acting auditions in person or via self-tape? The voice acting home setup is a pain in the butt. Yeah, everything is self-tape these days. Very rarely do you go into a studio or audition. Like all film, and I hate it. I used to like going into the actual audition room and meeting the person and shaking their hand and talking to them. I think it gave me a little bit of an advantage because ultimately when you are working with people, they want to know if they can hang out with you, if they can, if you're going to be all right. And so when you're just doing self-tape, they don't get a vibe from you. And so when I would get a call back in the day, you would walk back into the room after taping initially with the casting director. Let me fix this. Pick this up over here. Sorry. And so pretty much all auditions are at home now or at a taping place, and then you send them off. So I think that acting in person is probably more difficult because you're basically putting on a little show and the producer and director are sitting there at the callback. So basically that's how it would work normally is, we like your tape. You sent it in. Voice acting for sure. Voice acting is always you just send the tape in. And then, oh, we like you. We want to see you again. That's called the callback. So then you go to a studio, you go to a production house, you go to whatever. And now you're in the room with the director, with the producer, with the writer, and the casting director. And so now you're going back in and doing okay. So like for Identity Thief, I did an initial one on tape, sent it off. They liked it. They said, hey, they want to meet you. They want you to meet with the director and do the audition. Then drove to Atlanta, did the audition for him in a room. He liked it. I walked out, got a call. 3 days later, I booked it. Now it's mostly right off tape that they will book you. Like Hawkeye, never walked in a room with anybody. They booked me off a tape audition. If you want to come by the director's couch, this is all you have to do. Dress up like Tupac and just start flirting with me. And you never know. You might get the gig. They still call it tape. Go tape your audition. They still call it tape. It's like record, like even though they're gone. Do I mean the industry itself is we've seen a lot of massive the industry is slower than it has ever been in modern times. And so people are tripping, especially actors who only act. That's why you see some of these big actors on commercials now. Here's what killed it. Ready? An oversaturation of the market during COVID. A lot of low interest rate money picked up by studios to produce, and they produced a shitload. And then the strike hit. And then inflation hit. And then loans, the interest rates went up. And then studios crumbled. Paramount, boom. Disney was sucking, boom. Netflix was like, look, we're just gonna hold. We're gonna hold on. LA is crumbling because they're not shooting as many shows. They've lost half of the 50% of the shows that were shot out in LA because now they're shooting them in Georgia. They're shooting them in Ireland. They're shooting them in Michigan. Wherever the tax incentive goes, that's where the production goes. So the whole industry is a mess right now. It's slowly coming back together. And I'll be sitting here waiting for it. I'll be sitting here waiting for it like, all right, y'all ready? Okay. Now, and that's how it goes. There's a lot of people. It's just like the real estate market in a lot of ways. If you are good at real estate and you make some good ass money and you save your money and you don't have a bunch of bills, yeah, you could probably just do real estate for sure. But the market is a bitch. And if you're not covering your bases and, whether that's for me, I just like to keep it all in entertainment. So I'm always staying active. But those who leave, it's kind of like the stock market, right? When the stock market's bad, you take out your money. Oh, well, guess what? It's going to come back up again. And that's what I teach with the Passion Project. That's why I go speak to students about. That's what I go speak to companies about. That's what I go speak to people about, how to keep your passion alive for what you do when things are tough, when the road isn't laid out. And so that's why basically I'm sticking around. I know I got 2 or 3 other nice roles. I'm only 43, man. Fucking young. Go ask a 70-year-old. I'm young. Yeah, we could have had it. We could have had it here. Remember, our state government booted the film industry in Atlanta and blew up 100%. The last show with the last tax incentive was Bloodline. I was on it. Everybody was sad. And when we got to leave, it sucks. Your team does acting. Audition requests are very slow. Yes, and I wonder why. There you go. I'm glad I answered your question. There you go. Yes, for everybody. It's for everybody. You got to remember the way productions go is it takes a lot of money to produce something. You have to borrow that money unless it is part of a studio like they used to have. Okay, well, we have an allotted budget for this film, that. These are our tentpole pictures, tentpole. That's just not the same thing anymore. This is what's popping right now. One-on-one. Everybody kind of figure out who they like online. Influencer content is this wave that we're on now. And that's why I'm here right now. Because even the biggest channel stations that I even met with, they're trying to do this. They're trying to bring it directly to you, one-on-one, consumer, over OTT, interactive. Well, that's what I'm doing here. I figured it out. I ain't gonna do it for nobody else. I ain't gonna do it for nobody else's untalented ass. I ain't gonna do it for nobody else's corporate ass. I ain't gonna do it for nobody else. I'm gonna do it for me and my family and y'all. That's who I'm doing it for. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who joined me today. What are you guys grateful for? Huh? Kim, Jessica, Kimberly, Douglas, Pam, Alina, Jonathan, Cindy, Adrian, Rob, Kenneth. I love you guys. Thank you for liking and for sharing. What did we learn? This ain't the news junkie. So we can't do what did we learn? I just realized, I'm like, didn't somebody else do that? Thank you, Rachel. I learned you guys are awesome. You guys are fun. I think some of you guys, thanks for the heart, Kim. Heart back at you. Rachel wants all the toppers to enjoy themselves. I want you guys to enjoy yourselves too, for sure. Being on the right side of the grass. That's right. This one right here. Have an awesome weekend, toppers. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, DTF. Love it when you show up here. Makes me smile. Everybody who shows up. You guys make the show possible. Make the sponsors and funnies. Next week, we got some new sponsors, too. I can't wait to tell you about. You need to call yourself. Yeah, you're right, because you're bottom. Oh! Arnott is the only one I'm not going to call topper. You're the bottom. Good morning, Kathy. I like that picture. Your nice little smile there. Oh. Sarah. I'm going to see you, girl. You fell right into that one. Now you're like, no, I'm a topper. I'm definitely a topper. All right, y'all. I want y'all to have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. And I do know one thing. Today will be a great day. To the top, never stop.